Hey guys, before we get this video started, I just wanted to say we have an anime channel called Mystic Sage, where I do a lot of anime content including countdowns, speculations, what-ifs, and much more. If you guys like anime and the content you see here on Mystic Umbreon, I think you will enjoy the content on Mystic Sage. A link to the channel on Mystic Sage and today's video will be in the description and in the air card above. Ash Ketchum. This dude has been the Pokemon's main protagonist for such a long time now. He's been on a journey for over 20 years and has captured a variety of Pokemon ranging from all sorts of characteristics. Altogether, if you don't count the unofficial Pokemon he's owned being Haunter, Larvitar, and Nebby, he has owned 50 Pokemon. Out of these 50 Pokemon, these include ones he has released, traded, given away, training with other trainers, and the ones he currently owns in Alola. Some of the Pokemon Ash owns, I either really love them, hate them, or don't really have an opinion on them. I've done a lot of top 10s about Ash Ketchum and his Pokemon before. With all these lists, I decided to just finally take all of Ash's Pokemon and rank them from worst to best. You must be thinking, you're doing a top 50? Kinda. I want to make this video to be similar to my opinions of all the regional Pokemon videos I've done, except each Pokemon has a little more detail than a single sentence. I want to give them at least a little spotlight. Alright, I'm done talking about what I'm gonna do. Let's dive into ranking all 50 of these Pokemon owned by this dingus of a trainer. Unpheasant. This Pokemon is my least favorite of Ash's. It sucks, it's hardly used, and it's the worst of the regional birds Ash owns. He exchanges it for Charizard when he gets it from Charcific Valley. Ha, sucker. Pignite. I really don't like this thing. The backstory that Tipic had was sad and it was very cute, but once it evolved, it was game over. Torterra. I've already said how much I've hated Torterra before. Ash's Torterra is one of the reasons why. Turtwig was cute, but then it evolved into these abominations and got blown back in the Sinnoh League. This thing will always be an infinite shadow. I will admit, Glalie was kinda cool at first, but Ash didn't utilize him that much. I really wish they would have waited to evolve it so we could have had a Frostlass. Oh well. Bulldor. I forgot Ash even owned a Bulldor until making this video. When did he get this thing again? Palpitoad. Palpitoad is just so ugly. I guess it wasn't too useless, but I think I would have liked it more if it fully evolved into Seismitoad. Scraggy. Scraggy hatched from an egg and it was cute at first. After a while it got annoying and it made me hate it. He also winds up putting it away, depriving it of any character development it could have had. If Scraggy would have evolved into Scrafty, I guarantee I probably would have liked it a lot more, because Scrafty's actually cool. The only reason I don't care for Kingler too much is because Ash didn't really use it a lot. It was better when it was a Krabby, because at least then it would give us fun memes. Oshawott. You're not Piplup. Why do you have to pop out of your Pokeball every time to battle someone? This thing is a nuisance, and the blind Aqua Jet thing was a dumb concept. It's a water Pokemon. How does it shut its eyes underwater? Poipole. So I actually don't know a lot about Ash's Poipole, so my opinion on it is very limited. But I do know that he ended up releasing it instead of keeping it and evolving it into a Naginadal, is that how you pronounce it? Which makes me kinda mad, so that's why it's lower on the list. Apom. I'm actually glad Ash traded it to Dawn. That was a smart move by him because Buizel is just so much better for Ash. Apom is here because she doesn't fit Ash's personality. I don't hate it, but it's here because it needed a place to be and I felt 40 was appropriate. Raticate. Ash only had Raticate for like half an episode, so I don't really have much to say. It seemed like it could have been decently strong, but he really missed Butterfree and thankfully traded back for him because Butterfree's adorable. Beedrill. This is just here for memes. He had it for one episode and gave it away, but Ash still technically owned it. I like a Pokemon he barely owned more than Torterra and Pignite. That just shows you how much I really dislike those two Pokemon. Tauros. Next is Ash's Tauros. And Tauros. And Tauros. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, I'm not super fond of his 30 Tauros just because there really wasn't a point in getting so many, especially since he stopped using them altogether. Muck. Ah yes, this stinky pile of sludge. Muck is honestly pretty funny. It always wants to give everyone a hug, much to their dismay. I mean, you can even smell him through the Pokeball. Poor guy. But hey, Ash and Professor Oak still love him, and I actually love him too. Crocodile. Crocodile is actually pretty cool. He's pretty funny and has his signature sunglasses since he was a Sandile and has come in clutch in a decent amount of times. Good for you, Crocodile. Good for you. Gliscor. I thought Gligar and Gliscor were actually pretty funny Pokemon. I also loved how Gliscor carried Ash in the Sinnoh League. The training it got was really good and wound up working out for Ash. Buizel. Like I mentioned with Apom, Buizel was a much better trade for Ash. I liked its attitude it had and the determination to be the very best. I love that fight against Maylene, by the way. Epic. Noivern. Don't really have much of an opinion on Noivern. Ash captured a decent dragon Pokemon. Not as good as Gudra, but I mean, it's a cool Pokemon. Leavanny. Leavanny is just a cool Pokemon. I appreciate that Ash chose it to be on his team during the Virtus Conference where it had fought really hard. There was even the episode where it helped a lonesome Caterpie evolve into a Butterfree so that it could be with its friends. Sad that I had to watch something so painful for a second time. Primeape. I miss Primeape so much. Will Ash ever go back for this thing? He's had so many opportunities, but he never has. It's super sad. I still like you though, Primeape. Tarko. Yep, this meme lord had to be a bit higher on the list just for his voice and other memes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it much as I would have liked, but I do cherish any time we did get with it. I love you, Torkoal, buddy. Gible is adorable. I want more screen time with Gible, that's why it's lower on the list. I think it learning Draco Meteor was one of the cutest things the creators could have done for it. We could have had a Mega Garchomp, but nope. Up next is Ash's Lycanroc. Though I haven't seen much of the Sun and Moon anime, I can at least say that I enjoyed the episodes where it worked hard as a Rockruff in order to evolve. When it finally did, we were pleasantly surprised with a brand new form, which was just so awesome. Good for you. Torracat. I may not be a big fan of Incineroar, but Torracat and Litten are precious. The backstory with Ash's Litten is ridiculously sad. Poor Litten had to watch its father figure die. Way too sad. But Litten and Torracat are cute. When it evolves, I hope it won't be like Torterra and just fall off. Corphish. I love Corphish so much. He's just so funny and just generally awesome. I wish he would have evolved into a badass Crawdaunt, but I can't be too upset with his face. Hawlucha. Hawlucha is pretty strong in Ash's journey in X and Y. That's all I pretty much know about it. I love its design and think it's a genius concept in terms of Pokemon. Talonflame. The reason why Talonflame is here is because it fought against Moltres. That fight in X and Y was amazing. Lapras. I miss Lapras, for real. I like the reunion at the end of Master Quest, but I wish Ash could have used it a bit more during the Orange Islands. It's so underwhelming, but I still think it's cute. Pidgeot. Ah, Pidgeot. I'm still so upset Ash never came back for you. You were an awesome Pokemon, and I just feel that you were treated so unfairly. Noctowl. I remember when Ash captured this in Ilex Forest. It had a different coloration to it, and I always thought it was majestic looking. 15 years later, I found out it's shiny, and I love shiny Pokemon because of Noctowl. Heracross. Ash's Heracross to me is just so great. He's strong, funny, and loves messing with Ash's Bulbasaur. Seeing the interactions between these two always made me laugh. Staraptor. Next to Infernape, Ash's Staraptor was his Sinnoh team's MVP. Staraptor is strong and one of Ash's more powerful Pokemon. Donphan. So I really liked Ash's Phanpy, and when it evolved into Donphan, I was super excited. Donphan is my favorite ground type, and I really appreciated what they did for Phanpy in the Battle Frontier. They gave it screen time. Do this for Gible too. This is my favorite starter in Alola, and I am pleased that Ash got one for himself. I love the comedic effect Rowlet has too. Its little bow tie is the cutest little touch I think they could have added to it. I also love how it just sleeps in Ash's backpack so casually. Next we have Ash's Greninja. There's so much to say about this guy. It struggles to get stronger as a Froakie, which is awesome. Once it finally made its way up to Greninja, it was super strong and badass. Even more, I got its own form in Ash Greninja, which could rival some Megas. However, after the Zygarde arc in Kalos, Greninja decided to stay behind to help protect Kalos, which I understand, but I'm not really happy with. Maybe we'll see him again one day. It's the mascot of this series and Ash's main Pokemon. I have a connection with Pikachu considering it's been there since the beginning of the Pokemon anime's debut. I don't strongly love Ash's Pikachu, but I do like it to the point to put it in my top 14 favorites of Ash's. Snorlax. Snorlax is one of Ash's powerhouse Pokemon. Whenever I see Snorlax battle, I always expect and get great results. Snorlax has saved Ash's neck countless times, the Battle Frontier, the Battle of Gary, and so much more. Snorlax is my favorite sleeper. Goodra. I loved you. Why did Ash have to be a moron and release you? As a Goomy and until Ash released you, I liked Goodra. There was not a thing I thought was wrong with Goodra. I would have put it lower on the list, but there are more Pokemon of Ash's that I still love more. Quilava. I thought it was great that Cyndaquil evolved into Quilava at the end of the Sinnoh arc, because Quilava is one of the cutest fire starter Pokemon. I like Cyndaquil in the Johto arc, especially when Ash went up against that Steel Trainer and beat that Skarmory that had a reputation of beating fire Pokemon. Quilava is adorable. Love it. Totodile. Totodile is such a joyful Pokemon. I love the way how it just dances and enjoys everything in life. Ash is losing one of the most important battles in his life, and here you see Totodile, just dancing around, bobbing, weaving, dodging all of its opponent's attacks. The dancing is cute and all, but that's not the main reason I like Totodile so much. I love how Misty and Ash actually competed for capturing Totodile. Ash had it though, so props to him. Totodile was a result of a competition between the Water Queen and the Dingus Trainer. I love Totodile and its entire Goofy complex. It's also one of my favorite starters. Swellow. I honestly wondered how Swellow winded up so low on this list. The battle Ash had with Tate and Liza won it for me. Swellow and Pikachu did some kind of crazy Dragon Ball fusion dance and they turned into a Super Saiyan Swellow and Pikachu. I call BS, but hey, that's okay. It's a cool form and Swellow and Pikachu are pretty freaking cool. I love how smug this dude is with his little twig in his mouth and this stigma of badassery. I think we can all agree that Sceptile is one of Ash's most powerful Pokemon he owns. Sceptile has always come in clutch for Ash, especially during that one battle in the Sinnoh League against Tobias. Ash may have lost that match, but Sceptile took down Darkrai, a Pokemon that went undefeated during the entire competition. He leaf-blooded the heck out of Darkrai and won Ash that scuffle. There's also one more small detail I forgot to mention. Sceptile got shot down by a Meganium and it made me feel really sad for it. A smug Pokemon like that can love too. Ash's Infernape easily makes it to number 7. It was originally Paul's when it was a Chimchar, but he considered it weak and released it. Ash was quick to take on Chimchar and treat it kindly, as you should with any Pokemon. The perfect bit of irony in this situation though was when Ash used Infernape in the Lily of the Valley conference against Paul and kicked his ass with a Pokemon he called weak and scum. I love Infernape, and who knows, maybe we'll see an Ash Infernape form when Diamond and Pearl Remix come along. One of Ash's OG Pokemon, Squirtle, had to be in the top 6. I remember back in the days of the Season 1 Pokemon anime, Squirtle was in the Squirtle squad, and seeing this little turtle cause so much trouble was kind of hilarious to watch. Then Ash captured it and it turned out to be loyal and a great Pokemon at the same time. I remember all those epic skull-bashing victories and then putting the glasses on as a throwback. Squirtle is the dope turtle. I miss Butterfree so much. Ash got it when it was just a Caterpie, his first wild capture. It quickly turned into Metapod and created the iconic anime meme of Metapod versus Metapod. It was so intense seeing it get stabbed by that Beedrill not knowing if it was okay. Then came the joy of seeing a beautiful Butterfree emerging, and it was just a big relief. But then it came time for Ash to release it. I know it's what would have been best for Butterfree, so I try not to get too upset about it. However, that doesn't mean I don't miss this amazing Pokemon. Maybe we'll get to see it again one day. How did a Pokemon from Gen 5 get this low, Mystic? Because Snivy is super cute and she has that prissy attitude that I love. Ash captured Snivy while he was in Unova and was actually owned by another trainer at one point. By the time Ash captured Snivy, it already had battling experience and knew the move Attract. Attract, fun fact, is what won Snivy over for me. Her charm and the way she used it on the other Pokemon was utterly adorable. I don't know what it is, but I love Tsundere attitudes for some reason. Okay, I know I give Charizard a hard time often, but as a kid, I absolutely loved Ash's Charizard. When it was a Charmander, it was abandoned by its trainer Damien, but Ash and friends rescued it and it has been with them ever since. It quickly evolved into Charmeleon, which turned it a bit sassy, which was kind of funny. Shortly after that, it evolved into Charizard and just totally lacked respect for Ash, which I can definitely relate to. But eventually, Charizard realized how much Ash cared for it and started obeying him. And from there on, we had some awesome teamwork between the two and it was fantastic. And we still get to see Charizard every now and then, which is great. I wish they do that with many of Ash's other Pokemon, but if they were going to do it with any of them, I'm glad one of them was Charizard. Bulbasaur may not be my favorite starter, but it is my favorite Kanto starter and second favorite Pokemon Ash owns. I love how loyal it is to Ash and how it plays the role of a leader type Pokemon. Bulbasaur has supreme command over all of Ash's Pokemon and the other Pokemon at Oak's lab. Bulbasaur is like, hey, I've been here the longest, Ash didn't release me, so I ran over everyone here. Capiche? Bulbasaur with these leadership skills and loyalty makes me like it a lot. I also like how it's prideful with what it is too, and refuses to evolve into Ivysaur. He really shows what a trooper he is. Little Bulba is too cute. My second favorite Pokemon of all time and my favorite Ash Pokemon is this Chikorita in Bayleaf. The reasoning why I love Chikorita so much is because of Ash's. Ash's is the reasoning why I chose Chikorita in my first playthrough of Pokemon Silver. The way how Chikorita acted towards Ash in the anime always had me in awe. I remember I used to look forward to watching her on Kids WB every Saturday morning. She was just so cute and prissy that it made me adore her so much. Then she evolved into Bayleaf and my love for her stayed the same. There was this one episode where Ash was mean to Bayleaf and she ran away. She was heartbroken and cried because he treated her wrongly. At the end, they made up and the affection she showed him was utterly adorable. Then they reunited in the Sinnoh arc and she took her Pokeball away from him so he couldn't call her back. Ugh. I can talk about Bayleaf all day, but as you guys can see, she's my favorite Pokemon owned by Ash Ketchum and one of the cutest Pokemon of all time. Well, that pretty much wraps up my rankings of all of Ash Ketchum's Pokemon from worst to best. Ketchum has captured a lot of Pokemon over the years that I really thought were interesting choices. A lot of these Pokemon I feel I would enjoy more if they had more screen time. If more of his Pokemon had more screen time, I guarantee I would have put a lot of these choices lower on the list. Regardless though, the top 10 Pokemon on this list I put more detail into because I truly love these Pokemon owned by Ash. I know it's asking a lot, but what are your rankings of Ash's Pokemon? If you want, you can leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and Nintendo content like shiny hunting, showdown battles, Zelda, and even Fire Emblem. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Fly Jubilee, Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Pal491, and Jarrett Weez Austin did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.